questions, or need prayer, email Annamarie at 5minutesadaywithgod at gmail.com. Be sure to like and subscribe to our videos so that more people can hear the Word of God.
Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. So we are starting Exodus and we are looking at the life of Moses. And so today we're going to look at his birth. So it's Exodus chapter 2 verses 1 to 10. I'm going to read it for us. Now a man of the tribe of Levi married a Levite woman, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. When she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could hide him no longer, she got a papyrus basket for him and coated it with tar and pitch. Then she placed the child in it and put it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile. His sister stood at a distance to see what would happen to him. Then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the river bank. She saw the basket among the reeds and sent her female slave to get it. She opened it and saw the baby. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This is one of the Hebrews' babies," she said. Then the sister asked Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" "Yes, go," she answered. So the girl went and got the baby's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this baby and nurse him for me, and I will pay you." So the woman took the baby and nursed him. When the child grew older, she took him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, saying, "I drew him out of the water." All right, this is a beautiful story. I love this. So Moses was born to believing parents. So both his mom and dad were from the tribe of Levi. And so it mentioned that when they had Moses, they were not afraid of the king's command. And so Miriam, so there was already 2 older children. There was Miriam and there was Aaron. And we'll see them later that they'll become part of the story as well. So she hid her baby for 3 months. Then at that point, it kind of became impossible to hide him. So she was a very clever, and there's a lot of irony here. She did exactly what Pharaoh commanded. She put him in the river, right? That's what he said, to put the male babies into the Nile, and that's what she did. But she put him in a little boat, and she was smart. She put him in a basket that was waterproof, and she also strategically floated him right in front of where Pharaoh's daughter would come out and bathe. So she was very clever, and she put Miriam not too far so she could watch and see what was happening. And so as he's floating by, right, he starts to cry, and so Pharaoh's daughter and her attendants see this little basket, and Pharaoh's daughter sends someone to go get the basket, and when she opens the basket, she sees Moses in there. And it says that she had compassion on him. And think about this for a moment. This is huge. Like, I didn't even think about this until I started really digging into this passage. She was conditioned by her culture to see Hebrew males as a threat. Right? Think about this. She was conditioned by her culture to think that her culture was superior and couldn't mix with other cultures. And not only that, but that the Hebrew males were a threat to her culture, basically, right? That's why there was a lot of fear. The Egyptians were afraid that the Hebrews would multiply so great that they would overtake them, or that they would join with one of their enemies and overtake them. But she rescued him. And so this was part of God's plan, that there was this woman, this daughter of Pharaoh, who had kindness and compassion in her, even in a culture that didn't foster that. So then Miriam pops out of nowhere and says, "Can I get someone to nurse him?" And the story is so great because, of course, she gets Moses' mom. And Moses' mom is paid for nursing her own baby. And she's able to pray for him and just love on him on those early years. And then she brings him when he is weaned, and he's in the safety and protection of Pharaoh's daughter, so that he is safe to be raised and to live and to grow with other males that were destroyed. So this is a beautiful story of, we see people working in wisdom, right? God giving them wisdom. We see compassion even on a pagan woman. And we see God's ultimate provision in saving his people through having Moses being rescued by Pharaoh's daughter. So I hope this speaks to you today in so many different ways. And just meditate and think about how God is speaking to you this morning through this passage. Have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.